Okay, Danzo. Okay, Danzo. Danzo, are you here? Cool. Tayo. Tayo, are you here? Okay. Mubarak. Mubarak, are you here with us? Okay. Okay, thank you, Mubarak. Jonathan. I believe Jonathan is tradesman. Alright, so now we have introductions out of the way. I think I am going to just break down what we're going to do today. So, if y'all would permit me to share my screen, if y'all would permit me to do that, okay. I want to make sure that everyone can see my screen. So, if you can't see the screen, tell me just so I can know. Can everyone see my screen? If I could get some reactions, that would be okay. Awesome. So, just a rerun. Hi, my name is Nos, one of the co-founders of the Stacks AI Guild, and I have 3 years of experience working with Python projects, or developing with Python, working with data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. I have 2 years out of those three working with AI powered, or working on rather, AI powered products. Uh, One of the reasons that I picked this track is a simple, is rather simple. Uh, I like to think that we're in an age where this tech is being commercialized, where everyone can have it, and what's going to separate you from someone that just writes, someone that just prompts simple English, is the understanding of architecture, the understanding of solutions, the understanding of solutions. So when I talk about AI development, I basically just mean, how do you use AI to advance on your work? How do you use AI to further push the boundaries of what you are already doing or what you already know? Right? So let's get into it. Give me a second. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover today. Uh, we're going to cover AI assistant development, code generation, and prompt engineering, right? These are the key topics. So what is AI assisted development? AI assistant development enhances productivity by enabling developers create applications with less coding experience. This approach leverages intelligent systems for more efficient workflow. So you can imagine, right, where someone with zero coding experience work on is able to work on and build out an entire application in 2 weeks and get 10k MMR on that application in 2 weeks. What would cost developers yes, what would cost developers years upon years upon years, or months upon months of trial and error, someone with a solution in mind and an LLM is able to do that in 2 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, or a week, dependent on the complexity of the solution. So AI assisted development as a developer, right? Because this explanation is for non-developers, but AI assisted development as a developer just basically means you are going to be more situated as a solutions architect, knowing the architecture of your program. This goes here, this is supposed to do this, and AI just focuses on the coding. So think of it this way: you are a and I know a bunch of us are going to hit product managers. That's fine. You're a product manager attached to a bunch of agentic builders, so you know what goes where. You are yes, you know what goes where. You understand the nature of the solution. You understand the architecture of the solution. You are just in charge of builders now, if that makes sense. So, uh, moving forward from what I just said, being in being sorry be moving forward from what I just said, being a project manager of a bunch of agentic builders means that they are going to help you with code generation. Code generation is a very big thing because like every developer knows, code is the foundation of whatever you're building. Using AI, developers can generate and refactor code effortlessly. This leads to faster development cycles and allows for smoother debugging and improved application performance. Now, for anyone that has tried to use AI in code, you will see smoother debugging and start laughing, because I am very sure that you have run into errors trying to build out something solely dependent on AI. If you do not understand a particular sector of something and you're trying to use AI to do it properly, you might end up causing more bugs. You might end up causing more bugs than any other thing. So while you could use it to smooth out the bugging, I usually recommend to understand the foundation. Timmy, you can't hear me? Can everyone hear me, or is it just Timmy? Can everyone else hear me? Okay, Danso can hear me. Jonathan can hear me. CJ, you can hear me. Okay, cool. Michael can hear. Okay, okay. So, uh, Timmy, maybe you're going to have to go back. Okay, just rejoin. Uh, so working with code generation or just debugging and things of that nature, AI is supposed to smooth it out. But like I will always say, if you are not aware of the situations that you are going into, a it is a process of the blind leading the blind. It's a process of the blind leading the blind. So I always advise you understand the solution that you're trying to build. Uh, so one of the core foundations of AI assisted development is prompt engineering. So I'm very sure everyone that has been paying attention to either artificial intelligence or machine learning or anything, yes, and privacy, is they've heard of prompt engineering, right? So prompt engineering. So what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is basically the most effective way of communicating with a large language model, right? So uh, prompt engineers are basically linguistic students. They're basically linguistic students, but in terms of working with large language models, working with AI. So knowing how to properly prompt engineer is a huge step, or is a huge jump that separates you from someone that writes low level prompts, right, to someone that's able to write prompts that can build out proper uh, either websites or applications or smart contracts and so on. So understanding prompt engineering is crucial for effective interaction with AI tools, enabling developers to translate ideas into actionable code through structured queries and instructions. Cool. So, what is AI assisted development? By definition, AI assisted development refers to the integration of intelligent systems into the software development process, enabling developers to enhance productivity and automate complex tasks effectively. This is huge grammar, right? This is huge grammar. The easiest way you can define AI assisted, or what AI assisted development is the automation of complex and repetitive tasks using AI. So, let's say you want to write code to style a page, right? What might take you maybe 5 hours to do, 5 hours of your time, that is a complex and repetitive task. Styling is going to cost you, what, let's say 30 seconds if you use the right model and the right prompt. So that is AI assisted development. AI powered development is just when you let AI do everything, which is basically the basis for most vibe coders who don't know anything about code. Uh, this approach empowers individuals with limited coding skills to build sophisticated applications, democratizing software development and enabling innovation across various industries. So, like I said, we're going into a space, or we're going into a stage, that's what I believe, where we are going to require we're going to require solutions architects much more than we require quote unquote technical developers. Quote unquote technical developers. So, uh, it is your job on your end to understand the solutions that you are building and building them and using AI to build them out, to build out the complex and repetitive tasks of just coding. So think of yourself an architect. Think of yourself an architect, understanding the house that you want to build, and you've sketched everything out. Your architectural blueprint is the prompt, and you give this prompt to the engineer. The engineer is the LLM, and the LLM activates the builders, the masons, the person that handles electricity, the plumbing, whatever. The key capabilities include of AI capabilities include code generation, debugging, refactoring, UI/UX suggestions, and architectural planning, all contributing to a more effective and streamlined development experience. Alright, so how AI helps you build, code conversion. So this, I don't need to spend too much time explaining this. Feature modification and error fixing. Do I need to go over this, or is this something that we could skip? Maybe do I need to go over this, or do we skip this? No. Okay. Let's go over this. Uh, Natural language is simple English, plain English. Uh, you could turn natural language like build a to-do app for me, and it builds out a to-do app. Users can modify features easily by providing effective prompts, allowing for quick adjustments. So basically, this is users can use natural language to modify their apps, already built out apps. They can modify features and error fixing. Like we already previously covered, AI assists in identifying and fixing errors by explaining the root cause and providing solutions. Prompt engineering basis. Uh, One of the key things when discussing prompt engineering when discussing prompt engineering or using AI in general is context. So I'm going to put this out to any of you. Has anyone tried coding Solidity with AI without context? Let's say without a sample piece of code. How did it go? Or trying to, let's say we have a bunch of smart contract writers here, right? A bunch of smart contract developers, we have a data analyst with us. Have you tried doing something, let's say building out an application that is so specific, to a problem without giving AI context? How did that go? Has anyone tried that? And if you've tried that, I want to know your experience. Has anyone? No one at all? Okay, Dan, so go ahead. Okay, so uh, one of the key things with working with AI is context. So context is the easiest way to describe it is you're going to write an exam. Now, you don't read English when you're going to write a math exam. You read mathematics. So that's what context is. Context is basically either giving a specific piece of structure, a specific piece of information that would help guide the goal. So let's look into what context is in terms of prompt engineering and interacting with AI. Clearly specifying your goal, the type of app, and the tech stack to guide the AI effectively in generating relevant code and solutions. So this, so this could break down in multiple ways, especially when you handle things like the tech stack. Uh, let's say you're building with Clarity, which is the smart contract writing language for stacks. Uh, I believe Gemini 3 does not have correct access to Clarinet testing. So you use what is called an MCP. Does anyone have an idea what an MCP is? Does anyone have an idea what an MCP is? Like an MCP server. Have you heard the term been thrown around here or there? Okay. So no, you don't know what an MCP is. Okay, cool. So an MCP is basically stands for Model Context Protocol. What it does is it's basically a huge library bank. It's a huge knowledge base for a specific either framework or language. That's what an MCP is. That's what an MCP is. And an MCP acts as a cheat sheet or a knowledge bank or a knowledge base or a library where AI can go through and get additional contracts from, right? So structure, how you structure your prompt is very important. Uh, it's like it's like giving a map with misplaced bearings or with misplaced spots, right? How you structure your prompt is very important. Think of think of it as writing jumbled text. If you write jumbled text, yes, it's going to make sense of it. Yes, it's going to make sense of it, but it's not going to give you the result you want. So be intentional with your structure. Be intentional with the steps, instructions, and organization of the prompts that you give. Very important. Constraints. Uh, does anyone know what a negative prompt is? Does anyone know what a negative prompt is? Okay, no. So a negative prompt is basically a prompt that signals what you do not want to see. What you do not want to see, either in an application or if you're working with video generation in a video, that's what a negative prompt is. Now, constraints mean defining limits. You could use negative prompts to define limits, but with what I've learned, especially with video generation, constraints work better. You should be able to streamline, and this is when you're writing your prompt. You should be able to streamline and contain and define limits to what you want to build. So, for example, you're building a React project. You don't want it to use, let's say, you're building something with React. You don't want it to use Python. You don't want it to use Python. Even if Python is the best, like, use case, let's say you don't want it to use Fast API to do something. Even if Fast API should be the best, you say, okay, I don't want this. Another big thing is, let's say you're designing UI, right? And everyone has seen those AI websites, right, that have gradients scattered all over them. For God's sake, the websites that a bunch of y'all used to hop into the server had a bunch of gradients attached to it. So you could create constraints to cancel out these things. So let's break this down again. Key things when building our prompts. Number one is context, right? So knowledge. Context is knowledge. Number two is structure. So steps and instructions when building out the solution. And number three is constraints. What do you not want to see? Think of it that way. What do you not want to see? So that's the basics of prompt engineering. Uh, so for this section of the class, I want us to get a little bit interactive. What we're going to do is we're going to run all this. We're going to do all this. We're going to do something very, very simple. We're going to just generate a simple to-do app. Very, very simple to-do app. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let me just close equals this. Let's do that. So let's go over tools that you could use for something as simple as this. Let's go over tools that you could use as something as simple as this. I'm very sure a bunch of us have access to Claude. Claude.ai. Does everyone know what Claude is, or do I need to give out a link to where Claude is? Everyone knows what Claude is. So, hi. Okay, so everyone knows what Claude is. Does everyone have Claude open so we can build out and demonstrate we can build out and demonstrate these two things, so we can show an example of what a good prompt is and what a bad prompt is. Let's open up Grok. Let's open up Claude. Okay, so we're going to start off with what a bad prompt is. Okay, so let's say we're just going to say build a to-do app. This is vague. This is vague, right? Build a to-do app, and then I'm just going to send it. And we're just going to wait, because it's going to build it out well enough. We're just gonna wait. I think it's finished. Yeah, it's done. It's done. So yes, it's being recorded. It's being recorded, and I'll send out the PowerPoint as well. So class. Okay, so at least there's simple CRUD, right? Alright, that's simple CRUD. So now we have built a to-do app. This is pretty simple. It's pretty fun. It's nice. But what if, let's say, we didn't just want okay, see, here's the thing. Create a to-do app using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And what did we just use? We used React. We did not ask for React. We asked for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, React is I think React is the default language for LLMs like Claude and Gemini 3, right? LLMs like Claude and Gemini 3. So let's try with let's build a to-do app with a more detailed prompt, right? Let's build a to-do app with a more detailed prompt. Let's say you are a computer CRUD is is create, read, update, and delete. If you don't know what CRUD is, it's basically one of the foundational concepts of backend. Hmm. Okay, so let's break down the difference between uh, the prompt that we just used and the first prompt. And so the first prompt we used is very vague, right? Or no, I don't want you all to do this. So what do you think are the differences between the first prompt that we used and this one? I'd want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. So go ahead. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Danzo? Okay, okay. Thank you, Timmy. Danzo? Alright, so while I test this out. Oh, Timmy, go ahead. Yeah? No.
I think that was added to the functionality.
Alright. Okay, so this is all correct. This is all correct. So what we're going to do is we are going to we are going to create this. Now, you guys are going to work on this in your own image. I don't like keeping classes to last that long. I don't want classes to waste that much time, right? So you're going to work on this to do up in your own image. Uh, Following this, it's either you can build out whatever you could build out either to do up, You could build out, let's say, a finance tracking app. I don't care, but you should define constraints that make it look different from whatever AI generated application that you would see on the go, right? Right. So, uh, that said, uh, do we have any other questions before I throw out an assignment for you guys? Do we have any other questions? Timmy, you have your hand up. Okay. So, your assignment today is pretty simple. Uh, build out a to-do app with whatever uh whatever LLM that you choose to use. You could use Gemini 3. You could use Gemini 3.1 with Google AI Studio. You know what? Just for good measure, let's use this same prompt on different LLMs. Let's use this same prompt on different LLMs. That should be fun, right? Should be pretty fun. So let's use this same prompt on different LLMs. Let's use this on lovable.dev. Let's also use this on Bolt. I don't think I use Bolt. This is the wrong type of Bolt. Bolt new, I think. Bolt.new. I'm trying to remember. Alright, so we're gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this in Lovable. And we're using Gemini 3 here. We're gonna put this in Lovable as well. Lovable is running, this is running. Let's try this in Bolt. I need to sign in with Bolt. Give me a second. Oh, I forgot I wasn't sharing my screen. I'm sorry. Let's try this with 3 others. Okay. So, can you guys see my screen? Just to be sure. Okay, cool. You guys can see my screen. So this is building out. This building it out. I believe. Should be able to sign in here. I think this is done. Do I need to enable cloud? Okay, let me enable it. So this is building out the backend, I believe. Oh, so when I added user authentication, it's building out the backend as well. Lovable is building out the backend. So I want to use Bolt for this. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because of my. We'll find out. Let's build this. Not now.